All right, welcome to Team Training. I have got the beautiful Natalie Baldock with us here tonight. She is one of our upline NMD 100 clubbers. I absolutely love this woman. She has traveled the world sharing our beautiful mission. She has created magic wherever she's gone. So many of you know her. We see her stuff. She's a guru on whole food nutrition. What's your label? Food coach. Food coach. She's just amazing. You can talk yourself up more because I always forget all the fancy names.
No, to be honest, I just love food. I love all food. But I think part of the reason why I got involved with the Juice Plus business is so I could eat food that wasn't good for me as well as Juice Plus. I think Juice Plus keeps me accountable to eating good, but also allowing myself to just slip up on occasions. And I think the majority of the population is like that. So, I think I resonate with a lot of people as a food coach because I get in there and say, look, I need to lose the last 3 to 5 kilos too, So I'm going to do this blog on how to lose the last 3 to 5 kilos, but please know that I need to do it with you. I've done it before. It was a long time ago. And I think, being real is probably the easiest way to do business.
So we're really excited to have her. I've come over and I was like, Nat, let's jump on our call today. So guys, you have the power here. We would love to hear from you because, every single one of you are on your own journey in this business. You're all going for your own goals. And what do you want to ask? Like, what do you want to ask? Take advantage of this time having Nat here. What's something that you want to improve on in your business? What are you finding quite challenging that you might, you hear from myself and Naomi, and you're hearing from Nat, she might just say it in that way where it just clicks, or she inspires something inside of you. So please put it in the chat. Please share. If you're 100% satisfied with your business where it is right now, amazing, fantastic. You don't have any questions to ask. But if there's something that you're aiming for, what is it that you're aiming for right now? And what would you love to hear from Nat, or what part of her story would you love to hear? Here we go. How best to handle skeptical partners.
Okay, before I answer that question, that's a part of my story. So I might just really share my story for those of you who don't know me, because I think sometimes the story is such a blessing, and that's where we do all our learning, which is, that's why I call it a blessing. So, most people think that, Nat Baldock, she got to NMD really quickly and it was easy for her. She's a food coach and she's really confident and all the rest of it. But most people don't know that I started this business when Taj was 11 months old. And for the first year, I really hid behind the product and rarely spoke about the business. I still did a 5 customers and 1 franchisee every month, but my first 11 franchisees are not in the business today. They're gone. My 12th franchisee was Carla Thomas. She was my first working franchisee, someone that is your upline. She's my downline, but she's your upline. And Kim is a part of that leg with Naomi as well. So, I was nervous. And I had to restart for my SDVF. I restarted for my SC. I restarted for my SSC. I was hopeless. But the thing is, I had something inside of me that saw this business as a lifelong commitment, but also a vehicle for transformation. And I knew that I was good at selling what I believed in. So what I needed to do was work on my beliefs. I needed to devise a way to believe in the product more, to believe in the business and the industry more, to believe in the company more, but also to believe in myself more. And I thought that belief in self was going and doing all this personal development. But what I realized was that I had to do the action to get the personal development. Like I had to scare myself and talk to people I was scared to talk to. I had to go back to customers that had cancelled and say to those customers, look, I want to do a last and final follow-up with you, and I just want to say how grateful I am for you being on the product for 8 months, and I'm sad to see you go. Can I ask why you're cancelling today? And then I would ask another question. I would say, and if you were to ever go back on Juice Plus again, I would absolutely love it if you would reach out to me, and I would love to reignite that health journey with you. And I always left them with that love and that last taste in their mouth. And I have to say that 20 to 30% of my customers come back to me. They go off the product, they don't feel good, and they come back to me. I had to do things that most people wouldn't do. I sat with people and said, look, I'm really nervous about talking about my business to you. I'm nervous about network marketing. I'm nervous about seemingly selling you a product. But what I do know is if I don't share this with you and something happens to your health, I'll never forgive myself. So would you hear me out for 5 minutes? And I've done things where I had to stand on stages in front of hundreds of people and bring myself to a space of speaking what's in my heart and never worrying about what anyone thought of me. And that's taken a 10-year journey. So the girl that I am today, this confident woman that you see today, was not that confident woman I was 10 years ago. I was almost 14 kilos heavier than I am today. A beautiful friend of mine in the business called me frumpy. And I still laugh about this today because it wasn't just frumpy, it was frumpy housewife. So, I was like, hey, and that's when I learned how to embrace the part of the journey that was the beginning. I might not have looked the part. I might not have felt the part, but I was on a journey to wellness. So I started saying to people, it doesn't matter what part of your journey, what part of the journey you're on as a franchisee. We're all on a journey, and will you journey with me? I want to lose 10 kilos. I want to feel amazing. Will you journey with me on this? So this is the part that's really exciting, is that Linda Evenden struggled for 5 years before she cracked the code. I struggled for 2 or 3 years before I cracked the code. And now the business has 2,500 distributors in it, over 15,000 customers in 13 countries around the world. We're sitting at that 100 club position. And if I hadn't have said yes, all those people would not be in a place of wellness right now. So one of the biggest tips I can give you all is to get over yourself and get out of your own way, because you're not that important. And I mean that with the biggest space of love. I wasn't that important. Why was I so worried about what people thought of me? Why was I that important? It's far more important to help somebody be well and get out of your own way. So I still think that today. I'm not significant in this business. I'm just Natalie, and I'm there to have the mindset of who I can help today. Who can I help today? 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 It's not how can I help that person and diagnosing it over here and not taking the action. It's like, who can I help, and go help them. It's that simple to make a switch to grow your business. So we had a great meeting today. We signed up 2 frontline franchisees today, and I asked the question very directly. So when do you want to start the business? Do you want to do this right now? This is the payment plan. This is what we need to achieve. Are you willing to work with me? And my new franchisee who's sitting next to me, who's watching this happen because we're doing it for him, he's like, you see him panicking because I'm so confident. But my certainty became greater than theirs. And that's what wins in this game. So the more you take action and the more you think, who can I help? Write that person's name down, reach out to them today, go and make a time to meet with them, make a time to phone them, make a time to send something beautiful to them to know how much you love them. And then having those small wins, all those small wins add up to emotional revenue for you and a shift and a change for them. And that's our business. One person at a time, and the faster you go, the bigger the business will grow. That's all it is. Okay, how do we deal with skeptical partners? You don't. You don't. You don't try to change them. You don't talk about the business with them. You don't talk about the product with them. You just be the change. That's all you do. You change your food. you change your habits, you look more beautiful, you feel more beautiful, and they either come with you or they don't. So my story with Dan is that he thought, oh, you can do the product, that's your little thing. And he was very skeptical. Even though he recommended that I do it for me, he was very skeptical to do it for himself. And about 18 months in, he jumped on the product and jumped on the raw food and vegan bandwagon because he didn't want his partner to be more beautiful than him. It was a huge shift for Dan. I remember him saying, you're looking super hot, I'm coming with you. But I never once tried to change him, because you can't change anyone. And if you restrict food from them and say, you can't eat that and you can't eat this, you're trying to control him. Men will not be controlled. You just have to do what you do for you, and they'll find you so beautiful and inspiring if you get happiness from it. If they don't like your happiness and they start to dig into you because you're shifting and changing, that's a time to address the relationship. That's when you need to get some actual counselling. But if a man's not happy for you to be happy, it's the wrong man. I shouldn't say that really, should I? Or you fix your relationship. Go and get help.
Actually, I've learned something, and this is a really cool tip to do. If it's your partner you're talking about, if you're talking about a potential person's partner, then you've got to take it case by case. You've got to get them in front of your NMD upline, whether it's me, Naomi, or your upline for that third validation. But if it's your partner, write down 50 reasons why this is important to you, why the product is important to you, and why doing the business is important to you. They cannot question, and we know Amber's on the call, Amber Trickland, we did this with something else, and you get to you tell them about the fourth thing, your fourth reason why down the list, and you've got your 50 there. And by the fourth or fifth one, they're like, babe, if this is something you want to do, who am I to take that away from you? So that's a really good thing and this is good to do with if you have potential customers or teamies who's the partner in the background telling them what to do, being skeptical. Get your person, if they're really interested in this, get them to write down 20 to 50 reasons why they really want to do this, whether it's the product or do the business, and get it to show their husband. So, yeah.
Now, somebody's just written, I've got a whole list of people I want to invite into the business, and how do I do that?
Yeah.
Look, everyone's case by case. Everyone's case by case. What's their pain point? Do they have a lack of money? Do they have a lack of community? Do they have a lack of support? Are they wanting to escape their husband? This is a big thing. There's a lot of women out there that are really unhappy and have no financial backing and want to have power. There's women that want to support their husbands and pay the bills so he's not stressed and doesn't have depression. You've got to find the pain point. And sometimes they just want to be significant, right? They want to be congratulated for doing something for someone. And sometimes they love food so much, they just want to be in the food industry, and they want to be in the foodie game, and they want to learn more about food, and they'll be your product review people, but they may not be your business builders. So, for me, I just wanted to share this product with everybody that I knew, because my transformation was massive, and I thought, how dare I not share this with people, because this transformed my life. I had systemic Candida albicans for 20 years. I had 3-week-long heavy periods. I had thrush, I had endometriosis, polycystic ovarian syndrome, lung infections, throat infections, tonsillitis. I had depression and anxiety disorder. I cleaned up my diet with veganism, but then I had a baby and it all came back again. So Juice Plus was simple and easy for me. 3 months later, I had my very first clear pap smear in 20 years. So as if I wasn't going to share that with people. It was so important for me to share that with people, because Candida sits in 1 in 3 women. And so that's my target market. Women with problems downstairs, which is really, really, to talk about that every day. But anyway, that's my target market. Let's talk about finding that pain point. Find the void and create a value. So my pain point was that I felt that for a long time. I had anxiety around maybe potentially getting sick and not recovering. So my pain point was that I wanted to get well. So that was my product pain point. But my business pain point was, how could I not share this with people? I wanted justice for the food industry. I wanted justice. So Bronwyn said, Natalie, you can help so many people doing this. This could be your vehicle for transformation. I know you've had an events management business with a charity attached to it, so you obviously want to help people. But what happens if this could be your vehicle? So Bronwyn knew how to do that. You must find people's pain point. And this comes from years of practice, but also just loving people so much that you want to know so much about them. You want to know what lights them up, but you also want to know what causes them pain. Don't stay in the pain too long. Give them a great solution. You say things like this: Samantha, we've known each other for 4 or 5 years now, and every time I've come over here, we've talked about the most beautiful things, about all the things we want to do in our lives and all the travel we want to do. We say when the kids are grown up, when the kids are grown up. What happens if we could travel now with the kids? What happens if we had like a couple of grand each in our bank accounts to do that? Create those questions that make them go, well, how do you do that when you're looking after the kids? So, babe, I've been working on a little side project really quietly, and I just thought you might want to take a look. Why don't you just come and meet Kim? Why don't you just come? And then you give Kim the background so she knows how to talk in that void and create that value. It's the most important thing in sales, to understand somebody intimately. I need that initial conversation breaker to reach out to somebody. I find I struggle to reach out to someone I've never spoken to forever, or fear they will think, oh, now you want to talk to me. Well, don't talk to them about your product for 3 conversations.
Minimum.
Yeah, minimum. Like, okay, let me tell you, Marcielle Audacieux, she won the product blitz yesterday. She won, and I've been working on her for 2 years to get her into the business and the product, and she just won free product, and now she's cancelled her appointment with me. So I'm like, oh shit, there's a customer that I won't get for another 2 months. But my point is that Marcielle and I are friends. She doesn't know that I eventually want to get her into this business and on this product. But you know what? For me, I know that I want to do that with her because I love her. Friendship is more important than getting people into my business. You will feel inauthentic and you'll feel like a fraud if you go to people with the intention to get them into the business first and foremostly. Go and make friends. Love people. Be with people. Go and have coffee with them. Love them. But when they express pain and they want their life to transform, offer them a solution, but don't do it in the first meeting. If it's just off the bat. If they know what you do and they want to meet you and they're happy to talk about that stuff, you'll know. But don't do that straight away. I think it's actually really rude. And if I went out with a girlfriend the other day, haven't seen her for 2 years, and as soon as we sat down, she started talking about doTERRA. It pissed me off because I don't have time to be sold into someone else's network marketing business. I thought my girlfriend wanted to catch up with me, and then I realized she saw me as a database. So know that if I feel that way, other people are going to feel that way too. So you've got to establish rapport and relationship, which creates trust, and people only ever buy from whom they trust. Okay? If you are wanting to reach out to people you've never met before, I would do Simon Chan's little methodology, and I would get good at that. Sarah Zammit has been doing that for 8 weeks now total, and she's got 9 frontline. So it's working.
Do you just want to run over it?
So Simon Chan's his little methodology is really around the language and the verbiage when you reach out to people on social media that you haven't met before. So you go into group chats and you start to reach out to people and you just add value until you go private message, until you finally reach out to them. And then what you say is that, look, we've got common interests, we've been having chats, it's been really gorgeous chatting to you, but I've got this really great little opportunity. It may or may not be for you, right? So it's gentle, may or may not, gives them the right to make the decision. It may or may not be for you. However, I just thought of you because it would be great to work alongside of someone as fun as you. And then they go, oh yeah, give me a look. And then you show them a product video and or a business video, depending on what the conversation bounces like. And that's something you can do. And if they say, oh no, it's not for me, you go, that's okay, but keep the relationship going, because you want them to know you have loved on them for not only that reason. But those sorts of conversations are great. But that takes confidence. But I suggest everybody at least tries that for a couple of months to see how you go on social media, because you never know. One of my gorgeous friends in Canada, she got to NMD 24 Club and did not speak one word to one person. It was all done on social media, Simon Chan's way. And I think that's amazing. And that's over 2,000 customers. So that's amazing. Okay. I've had a vision of building a tribe of mums, empowering one another as part of the business. What's your best advice on getting the ball rolling and helping share that vision to attract other mums to my vision? Well, first of all, look, I don't want to give the wrong advice. If you're brand new in the business, I really want you to listen to your upline NMDs on this, because I have a very different spin on this. I think you should stay very close to your upline or your upline NMD until you at least get to Q before you create a brand. However, if you're the type of person that's a creative and wants to create a tribe from the very get-go, and you're artistic and you won't let social media detract from you bringing people on, I would create a brand. I would definitely create a brand. I would create a logo. I would create a Facebook page. I would definitely start to put value, call to action.
Well, that's Amber's. Amber's already got a really good Facebook page that's got lots of engagement.
Okay, great.
So and I think you are already doing it. You just have to have faith and patience.
Amber, you're actually moving really fast, aren't you?
She's going to be SSC this month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amber, you're doing it already, babe, but speed comes from intention and passion and gratitude. Like, how grateful are you to every single person that comes into this business? How grateful are you for every conversation you have that changes and transforms somebody's life? How grateful are you for every single distributor, whether they do a little or a lot? Like, gratitude is the oxygen for abundance. It is your fuel that transforms everything. I was extremely grateful, very emotional and very teary for 7 years in this business. Everything that happened I was grateful for. The last 3 years, I have run this as a business, like a businesswoman, and my business has stayed at the same level for the last 3 years. But guess what's growing? Is my charity, which I'm working on in Bali, which I'm teary and emotional about every single day and very grateful for. So the income is growing over here and stabilizing here. And that's because what you're grateful for, you get more of. So I'm more grateful for helping these women in Bali at the moment, and that's what's growing. So when I bring my attention back to the gratitude in my Juice Plus business, and that's my clear focus and my intention, that will grow. But I'm quite happy with it where it is. We turn over 400,000 profit in the biz, 400,000 volume in the business every month, which I take 2 to 14% commission on. So I'm really happy with my income. I feel great. So, I got to a point where I'm very comfortable. So I'm grateful for that. And that's why it stays the same, because that's what I'm grateful for. And I'm even emotional about that, because I just think, gosh, all of you girls have got the same opportunity to do that too. Okay, so how do you get people to open up to you? I find you have to have a general conversation and then you just have to wait until they are ready. Nope, not at all. Do not general chit-chat with anybody. That's boring. Nobody wants one-word answers. Nobody wants general chit-chat. No one wants surface conversations. Ask bigger questions. So, Kim, you know, what is your dream for you and Daniel? What's the big dream? What is the one thing that you'd love to both achieve before you die?
Oh gosh.
See, that's where you need to go.
Like asking those type of questions.
Those big questions. So, you know,
this is a really good question. What inspires you? What gets you inspired, or what lights you up? And I learned, like, even if it sounds super corny and these people don't reply to you, then are these people you want to be having in your team anyway? Like, you want to have intellectual conversations. Like, you want to be the person in control. You want to be the person holding the remote to where the conversation's going, right? So you get to be the master asker. It always comes down to those questions. Like, you get to steer where you want the conversation to go. So just reading the rest, I want to help, but I'm not sure how to do so. If you, and I know I coach a lot on this as well. If you feel like you're selling, then you are selling. I always take off my franchisee hat and only act as a customer. Because when you're a customer for something and you have no connection to selling it, how confident and easy is it for you to just talk about it? And I get into that space. I treat myself as a raving fan. So then whenever I go into a conversation, to start asking people how they're going, what's been going on in their life, what's something they're working towards, what's something they're passionate about. There's always going to be a way where lifestyle and health is going to come up when you ask questions like this. And then when they're going to ask you the same thing, and then you talk about your lifestyle, part of your lifestyle is being a raving fan of what you do. So I hope that makes sense. If you go out with the intention of, I need to go sell something, you're going to come across that way.
Yes, yeah. Kim's right. Selling is telling. Like, look, if you are sharing your story, it gives them permission to buy into the story. So I say to people, you know, I don't know if this makes sense to you, and if you're open to it, I'd love to share my story. But, you know, I suffered with systemic candida for 20 years. I got my diet right, and it really helped with my symptomatic response. But it wasn't until I had Taj, and, you know, after I had him, my health declined. I was looking for a way to be healthier, and I was really blessed to meet Bronwyn. She shared with me this incredible product, but I was really skeptical. So you're giving permission for people to be skeptical, right? By saying you were skeptical? I said I was really skeptical, but I was actually so desperate. I just wanted it to be the last thing that I ever had to try. And 3 months later, I had my very first clear pap smear in 20 years. And for me, that was life-changing. And I don't know if that makes sense to you, but I thought maybe with what's going on in your body, this might be a good thing for you. But the story gets even better. Because I had such a huge health revolution, a health turnaround, I started sharing it with other people, and naturally and organically my business grew to 13 different countries around the world, to a business that now allows me to not have to work and be at Taj's sports days and pick him up and take him to school and go on holidays. And the one thing that I'm super, super proud of is that I don't have to save for anything. And I spent my whole life in poverty mentality. And now I don't have to save for anything. Now, if I want something, I just buy it. And so that's where everybody wants to go, you know, and that's not coming from ego. Because I can tell you right now, from a girl that was eating rice and lemon juice for 2 years because she had no money, and having no money to even put nappies on her child when I first started this business, I have every right to say that I do not have to save for anything now. I'm really proud of that. So, you know, I think you need to get to that point. You need to be humble, but you need to be proud too, that you're actually moving towards your dreams and taking people with you. Okay, I've been in the business 4 months, so I'm still fairly new and have been working on building relationships with people gently. I love building relationships with potentials, but it makes it hard to grow a business quickly. You're just not talking to enough people, that's all. I know I can't fast track that. Yes, you can. You need to talk to more people and have more catch-ups and more meetings and more telephone calls and more, more concentrated time of action in business, not fluff in business. So I say to myself, everything I do each and every day, is this income producing? No, don't do it. Now, I know that sounds crazy because a lot of it is relationship building, but that's income producing for me, because the more love I give into a relationship, the more trust I build, the more they're likely to jump in and be coachable, teachable and trainable, and therefore I can transform them into the next big franchisee. So I think I'm 33 wide now, 33 businesses wide. I have 2 very large NMD legs, and I have 4 NMD legs developing. And, I've worked on those relationships for up to 10 years, really slowly. Why is everyone in a hurry? Why are you in a hurry? Like, I want my friendships and my relationships in this business to be lifelong. But I will tell you, after 10 years, a lot of people go. And that's okay too. So you've got to learn to love and let go. It's really important too. Love and let go, but also love and coach, teach and train as if they were your own children and you wanted to help them develop a business and be secure for the future. That's actually how much love you need. And I can tell you right now, I know that my background as a Christian for 17 years, obviously I left the church when I was about 21, but I know that background has given me a servant's heart. And I know that I use that every day. So I know how much love you have to give without expecting anything in return to grow a business like this. So if you can get into the mindset of, I'm going to give love, I may not be thanked. I'm going to give love, they may not be grateful. I'm going to give love, they may walk away. And if you have that attitude, the emotional revenue will come back tenfold. Because if you give with expectation, you'll never grow. You'll always be disappointed, And I get all my needs met in my business from Bronwyn. 100% of the time, she's calling me, telling me how grateful she is, telling me how much she loves me, telling me I'm one of her best friends, loving on me, watching my reports, giving me everything. And she's given me everything for 10 years. So you only need one person in this business to lock arms with that loves you, and you can have everything you've ever dreamed of. So she's my go-to person. Okay.
We've got 4 minutes.
4 minutes. One more question.
Did you answer both of those?
Yeah. Oh, I've had 2 catch-ups on the weekend. They actually brought the business and products up. I just don't know how to follow up now. Are you kidding me, babe? Get on the freaking phone. Say, hey, babe, I'm so excited that we talked about this on the weekend. When are you wanting to start? Because I would love to work with you. That's not hard. What happens if they say no? Who cares? Who cares? They say, oh, no, I don't want to do it now. I might do it later. Then that's okay. Next. Say, okay, babe, oh, sorry, I misread what you were saying on the weekend. I thought you were really excited about it. But that's okay. We can do it anytime. I would have you any day. I would love to work with you any day. And just knowing how excited I am to work with you, just know that I would love to have you. And the other thing is too, is that they brought up the products and they brought up the business. Just be really relaxed, like relax, girls, relax. Just go, the products are amazing. I love them. It's just really simply fruit and veg in a capsule with a lot of science behind it. And that's why I love it, because it actually has validation for me. But it's the business that I love more because I love the community. But I also love what it does for me and my personal growth. I want everyone to write this down. This is homework, okay? Everyone get a pen and paper. And
I love seeing everyone's like, oh, got to get a pen.
yeah. So someone's in their kitchen with veggies and she's going, I don't have a pen.
There
she has. Good girl. Okay, write down these things. The 6 human needs that every single human on the planet needs to survive with. Okay, 1, love and connection. Can you think about where they get love and connection from our business? Right? Put your hand up if you get love and connection. Okay. Number 2, personal growth. Do we get personal growth in this business? Hands up. Okay. Certainty. Do we get certainty in this business? Are we certain if we hit a certain position, we'll get a certain income? Are we certain that we get paid every month? Are we certain we're going to have friendships? Are we certain we're going to learn? Are we certain that residual income is going to provide a secondary income? Yes, we are. Okay. Uncertainty, which is variety, put in brackets of variety. Do we get variety every day? Yes, we do. Every customer is different. Every level is different. Every event is different. Okay. All right. Also significance. Do we get significance? Yes, we get significance. So every time we hit a level, we get reward and recognition. It's really important to understand. And then contribution is the last thing. Do we get to contribute at a higher level? Talk like that to people in business. Say we get to contribute. We get love and connection. We get certainty. We get all these human needs from this business. They'll join because they get everything they've ever wanted, but get clever around that conversation. Okay?
This is going to cut out.
Anyway, we love you. If you've got any questions, private message us because we're doing nothing right now. Okay.
See you on 10 training later.
Bye.